I'm Benjamin Hall, Fox News correspondent and New York Times best-selling author. Join me for my brand new podcast, Searching for Heroes. Make sure you subscribe to this series wherever you download podcasts and leave a rating and review.
What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the TMossBoss Show. And man, good news with my podcast. Like, more so is hitting a milestone, but I have finally reached 1,000 total plays with my podcast. That's amazing. Like, nah, seriously, that's really amazing. Like, I feel like in recent time, like, a lot of people started listening to my podcast. And that's what I honestly need to start back doing, is promoting it. But I was posting about it on YouTube. What else was I doing? Like, I was promoting it. I was doing a lot with it and stuff. So yeah, I'm like, to now have it at 1,000 total plays, like that's amazing. I think, like, yeah, the goal from now, like from here on out, is 10,000, 100,000, and then a million. A million total plays. Like, I've reached 1 million total views on YouTube. I've actually reached that twice. But to reach it with my podcast, that's something I'm like, I'd really have to work hard on that. But it's like, man, just thinking over the time, like, of having it, like, I remember, so no, that was what I wanted to talk or mention, was that on a, like, old, like, Facebook post I think I had made, like, a couple of years ago or something like that, I talked about wanting to create a podcast. I was just like, nah, that's something I would like to do. And I don't know, like, at the time I was just like, oh, I ain't really take it serious and things. And that's why I was like, I don't know, I feel like there's like a point in time, like, I feel like the last, like, well, this last year, I don't know, 2018, 2017, I'll have to say those were 2 years where I was slacking a little bit. So that's why I'm like, I feel like now, like, especially last year, and like a little, well, of course, like, then this year hasn't even really begun, so I can't really talk about this year, but definitely last year, like, I feel like that's when I was, like, really, really, really motivated. Like, I'm like, man, like, just, like, sitting down and thinking about that, I was just like, this, like, last year, I did so much, from creating channels to, like, creating different content, like, and then my podcast. And I had to say, like, probably my podcast, that would have to be, like, the best thing I did last year. And it was funny how I was, like, sitting down thinking that I seen that post a while ago I made on Facebook. But then I remember it was, because I think everybody knows the story of when I created my podcast. So, I was like, yeah, it was like one of my friends, me and her, we were sitting down talking one night. And, yeah, she gave me the idea, but at the time I was just like, I don't know how to start it. I don't know what to do. And I don't know. I think I had got in that mindset of when I was creating my gaming channel. And I had no idea what I was doing. I had no idea what I was getting myself into. I had no idea about recording gaming videos. So I was like, I at the time I was like, I remember I had like this like generic laptop. Like, I mean, it was like, the crazy thing about it is, like, the laptop was expensive, but the thing was like, it was a ripoff. It was a ripoff laptop. But so anyways, no, I remember when I was like doing that, and I had no ideas like what I needed to record gaming videos. Like, I was learning as I was like progressing on. I feel like that's how I am with my podcast. Like, as I'm progressing with like every episode, I'm always coming up with something different to talk about, like having the random talk series or the answering Reddit question series. Like, I'm finding newer and different things I can do with my podcast and stuff. So that's why I'm like, with this podcast, I have to say it's definitely one thing that's kept me, like, I guess, like, working more. Because I feel like, definitely before I had created my podcast, I wasn't really focused on myself. And I feel like creating my podcast and then creating, like, multiple YouTube channels, yeah, I'm definitely focusing on myself. And I'm pretty sure everybody knows, like, all the hate that I was getting, like, that I'm getting on YouTube, that was, I'll admit, that was, like, the main thing that I was like really talking about. That was the main. I would say during that time I wasn't really focused on myself. I guess I was in a way, but then again, it wasn't like really trying to focusing on bettering myself. So that's why I was like creating a podcast, creating multiple YouTube channels, like keeping myself busy, keeping myself constantly thinking. And I told the customer that today at work, because I think I uploaded the video. I didn't publish it yet, but I talk about how I wanted to create 20 YouTube channels. I think I even talked about it on here too. And I'm like, I want to create 20 YouTube channels, and I want to be active on all of them. Like, and that's why I'm like, and even after that, I'm like, just create more, do more. Because the thing is, it's like, I say 20, but I'm like, 20 is like, I know I can do more than 20. I could probably, like, do 100. Like, if not more than 100. Like, that's why I'm like, I don't know. Like, when it comes to me and being creative, it's my mind. Like, I think, what book? It was the Master Key System, and it was this book I remember at XXXTentacion, RIP to him, but he was talking about that book. I remember it was like, I think I read some part where it's like, your mind is a universe, and that's why I'm like, that's how I treat things. I'm like, my mind is a universe. Like, I have so much, like, material and so many things I can possibly do. I'm like, I wasn't just given a mind to think about some things. Like, no, I was given a mind to think about everything. Like, what can I do with this? What can I do with this? Like, that's why I'm like, that's why I encourage people, like, don't just settle for what you got at the time. Like, settle for that plus more. Like, settle for that and plus more. And for the car starting outside and trying to distract me and stuff. But anyways, no, I'm like, and it's just like seeing myself, like, evolve just throughout the years from, like, I was mainly, because 2015, 2016, I was mainly doing, like, reaction videos and gaming videos and stuff. And then I started back getting into music. I mean, I was already, like, working on music and stuff, but I wouldn't say I was working on it as I should have been in things, but that. And then I started doing, because I was, like, buying sneakers and things. I'm like, no, let me do something with this. So I started making sneaker review videos. What other videos I start doing? Then it was like creating my other channels and stuff. Like, it's crazy to think, like, I went from uploading on 2 channels and now I'm like creating content for 12 channels. And that's what I'm like, and it got to the point where I was just all like, because no, I was like, I think I had updated my bio, I think either on Twitter or Instagram, where it was like, originally I had said I only had like 9 channels, then I had to upgrade it to 11. And now I'm just like, honestly, I ain't even going to upgrade. I'm just like, I'm just going to put content creator. Because that's exactly what I am, like, just sitting down thinking about it. Like, I'm creating content all the time and every single day. It's like, I just, like, man, it's crazy to sit down and think about that and things. And then it's like talking back on the podcast. That's what this was originally about and stuff. 1,000 plays, like, just talking about what, though? Like, I'm like sitting down thinking about it. I'm like, man, I've talked about so many different and random things. I'm like, I guess people are really entertained by it. I like that. I like that. Like, now it's like just like a chance for me, like, because I don't know, like, I wasn't really like uploading every single day like how I should have been on YouTube and stuff. Like, I'll upload the video, but I won't publish it. But my podcast, I'm like, I definitely make sure that I have an episode like recorded. And that it's funny how I like record these episodes like last minute, and then like just like after that I'm like so ready to upload, so ready to publish it and stuff. And man, I'm like, I had to thank the friend that got me into it, her name is Angela. I think I did like an episode like strictly for her and stuff. Y'all could go check that episode out. It's like from, I think it was in the I uploaded that episode in season 1 of my podcast, where it's like titled "Who is Angela" and stuff. And yeah, she was childhood friend that just got me into recording my podcast. And I'm like, that's the thing, because I'm like, I think she told me about like some people that do like podcasts and stuff. I think she was like Joe Rogan. And then I think she mentioned another name. I think mainly I remember, because I think we talked about it a couple of times. I think I remember the second time. That's why I was like, okay, let me like look around and see my options and stuff. And then that's the next group of people that I would like to thank is the people behind the website Anchor. So yeah, that's why I like publish all my episodes and stuff. I publish it on Anchor. Then they've helped me with pretty much everything from getting it published on other like podcast streaming platforms and stuff. Like I never would have imagined that I had like a podcast on Apple podcast or music, whatever they want to call it, and then Spotify, and then all these other names. So I like, no, let me go to Anchor, let me go to the website. Cause and then they're like, that's the thing though. It's like they say that it's the easiest like way to upload episodes. It is. No, it is. Like, believe me on that. It is like uploading your episodes onto Anchor. I wish my computer stopped acting weird. It got like stuff all on the screen. But anyways, no, like you go up on it, you record what you're gonna record, and then you just post it on the website. And I'm like, that is some dope stuff. But anyways. Yeah, like having it available on like 7 different like podcast streaming services, like that is just insane. That's just insane. But no, shout out to Anchor. Shout out. I can put my information on here with oh wow. I didn't realize that. No, I'm like setting up my stuff. Hopefully they connected. Yeah. Oh, then Twitter or Instagram. Hold on. Why did it spacing? I don't want no space. Okay, saved. Hopefully it saves. Your changes have been saved. Oh, okay. Dope. No, that's real dope. Now they got like my social media stuff available. But no, like where's the stuff where it lets you know like all the different places my thing is available on? Okay, now it's being weird. I thought it would let you know like on the home page. Music public profile, that might I'm gonna click on 2 different things. No, it's not doing anything there. So yeah, it's available. So shout out to Apple Podcasts, Breaker, Google Podcasts. Pocket Cast, Radio Public, Spotify, and yeah, that's it. And then Anchor, of course. But no, that's like it's just insane. Like and then like also just like how many seasons have I uploaded and stuff. Like I remember telling my manager because she was out always asking me about it and things. And I was telling her, I was just like, because she kept asking me. I remember, I think the last time she asked me like what season I was on, and I think I was like I was telling her I was getting ready to start like season 13, and then that was some time ago. And now I'm like already on season 17. Like I was like, it's just wild, like how much I've progressed with this podcast. Like it's seriously, I'm like and I just never would have thought that I would have been like this heavily into like building a podcast and stuff. Like, man, I'm like this would definitely be the one thing where I'm like, nah, like YouTube, like what else? TikTok, like I'm like it's insane. That's what I need to do, promote my podcast on TikTok. It seems like anything can blow up on TikTok and stuff. So anyways, but no, like I just like to take the time to thank everybody that has been supporting my podcast, from friends to fans on YouTube to everybody. Like to see it grow this much, and then to like to hit this milestone of 1,000 like total plays. Like I seriously appreciate everybody that's been supporting it, and especially Angela for just giving me the idea of creating a podcast. I have to say I'm really glad. You know what? Like, taking it all the way back to the old days, I'm so glad she was the new student in my classroom. Like, I'm gonna take it all the way back there to like when we very first was like in the presence of each other and things. Like, no, that's like a serious blessing to have a friend like that, and then to like have her give you ideas, like an idea she very well could have used for herself. Like she could have used this idea for herself and things and not told anybody about it. But the fact that like we're just talking and then she gave me this idea to like help myself, like blow myself up and things, like that's dope. Like it's I'm gonna say this, it is hard finding like friends that can just be like that supportive and that helpful to where they give you a tool to build yourself. Like that, seriously, I'm like, it's hard finding friends like that. It's hard finding people like that. I've met like a bunch of people in my life, people that I've known for years, and here it is. I'm like, with her, it was like, I don't know. I wouldn't necessarily, I would say that definitely in my eyes, one of the greatest friends that I have, because it's like, you did something for me that like not too many people have done. I wouldn't necessarily say she's well, that now I feel like that's just being rude. Like if I say she's not like my best friend in her eyes, like what if I'm like, see, that's just rude. Like I didn't even bother thinking about that. Like because in her, like I don't know. I feel like we should have like a best friend talk. Like, do we agree that we're best friends? If not, cool. Let's wait a little bit on this, and then we can agree on those standards and stuff. But I feel like, dang, that would be so wrong. Like, she, in her head, she thinks that I'm her best friend, but I just come out in the episode, I'm like, we're not best friends. Like, I can't say that. Well, just to be safe, she's a best friend. Like, nah, you know what? No, like, you then gave me an idea and stuff of, like, building myself and helping myself out. Like, you're a best friend in my eyes. Like, seriously, I'm like, that's somewhere I'm like, if I blow up from this, like, you're definitely going to be one of those friends. I'm like, you got to be a guest appearance. I got to help you out somehow. Like, I got to, like, pull a David Dobrik move on you or something. Like, let me buy you some freaking car or something. Like, let me do something at least, okay? But, no, I'm like, that's just, it's dope just having friends like that. It really is. So find you some friends like that. Not to call any of my other friends out. I'm just saying, like, if y'all was in a race, Angela and a few others, they're winning this race right now. Like, they are. I'm like, but everybody's putting in their effort. Everybody's putting in their work. That can't be denied. But I'm just saying, like, she's definitely like one of the like top 5, I would say. Top 5 that's like leading the race right now. So yeah, she no, like, shout out to her. Definitely big shout out to her, because I'm like, if it wasn't for her, the TMossBoss show would never be a thing. Seriously, I think I should like come up with like a cast, or just like, of course, like me being the host. But I would have to say, like, in a way, she is kind of like a creator. I would give her that creator credit and stuff. Watch us having like a falling out, and then I blow up from this podcast, and then you're all like, it's recorded by yourself that you've given her creator credit, so she's taking a good portion of the money that you make. Look, now I gotta make sure that we're always like gonna be good friends and stuff. Like, that's like, I can't have that. I can't have that at all. So, but no, like, seriously, like, we have to give her some credit too, because if it wasn't for her, I had to say, I wouldn't be sitting down recording this right now. I wouldn't be celebrating that I have 1,000 plays. And then on Friday at that too. Like, dang, it's like such a long week, like, of working and stuff. This is like my first full week back at work. So just like dealing with that. But this is like a good way to end the week off. Like, I bought me some shoes today. I bought me some Jordans. I bought me these like black and blue Jordans. They're pretty dope looking. I actually like them. I like them a lot. They got like this like leather material, so I ain't got to worry about it like being like, or the rain like messing them all up and stuff. I need to spray the bottoms. And stuff, because yeah, Jordans, they, just for those that was wondering, Jordans can't slip and slide outside and stuff, except the 11s. Well, no, it depends on what 11s. If we're talking Concords, then yeah, probably those are good. But if we're talking like any other 11s, it's different. It's a little different. But anyways, shout out to all of the podcast streaming services that's publishing my podcast on their sites. Shout out first. No, all right. Let me start this all over again. So, shout out to Angela for helping. I would have to say, like, yeah, for helping me create. I don't know what I should give her, like, because she did give me the idea. So I would have to say shout out to her for giving me the idea of creating a podcast, because she very well could have used it for herself, and she very well, and I'd still stand by that. I think I told her, I was just like, you should, because you know more about this than I do, and if you ever needed help with like anything with like creating a podcast, like I'm so down to like help you out on that. Like, no, like that'd just be that wouldn't even be right. I wouldn't even feel right. That's like pouring in your milk first and then your cereal. Like I would have that feeling if I didn't help her out when she would want to like go and create a podcast herself. It's funny because it was no, I remember what am I don't even know what I'm looking at right now. They're like showing something on the news and things. There's some old crazy stuff happening on the news. But anyways, no, like if she wanted to create a podcast, like seriously, I'm so down to help her out on that. So down. It's funny because it was like I remember when like when we were like younger, when we were like maybe 13, 14 years old, I remember she had a YouTube channel. I ain't even gonna talk about the videos that was on the YouTube channel because I feel like that I should at least get permission to talk about them, but she uploaded some videos where I was like, you know what? No, I could watch these. Like these are fun to watch and stuff. Like I feel like it's like a lot of excitement going on. It's like a good vibe that you're getting from this video and stuff. So yeah, I was like, I remember it was like it started from that to like now this. I'm like, man, it's just crazy like how much like people can just grow over the time and things. Like, dang, that was like 10 years ago. Dang. That's wild. Like, no, that's like really wild. Like, dang, I really met her like 10 years ago. It don't even seem like, well, I guess like when you do the math and then you like look at it on the table or something, like, yeah, like we were like 13 at the time. Like, dang, man, that is wild. No, I gotta like, next time I talk to her, I gotta bring that up. Like, dang, we've known each other. The thing is, I've known other friends longer than that. Like, there's people that I've known for like almost 20 years, and just dang, that is wild. Like, that is seriously wild. Like, that's wow. Wow. You know, like, it's wild when you start thinking about that type of stuff, but anyways, no, I'm like, dang, that's just, but it's like, it's even more wilder with her. I'm like, dang, like, I remember me and her, we were just posting, like, you know, like, videos. Like, we were just, like, kids just posting videos on YouTube, and she's, I would say she's doing good for herself and things. Like, I would say so, but, that, and then, like, and then, of course, like, me, all the stuff that I'm doing. And then, yeah, but no, shout out to her. Who else do I need to shout out? Shout out to the other friends and fans that's been supporting it. To the 1,000th listener, I appreciate you. I don't even know who you are, but I know there's gonna probably be a lot of people coming out like, "Oh, I was your 1,000th listener. It said 999. Like I was the 1,000th listener." Like you can't trust people like those. Like they probably wear black Air Forces. But anyways, yeah, shout out to everybody that's been supporting the podcast and stuff, and I appreciate everyone. So thank you guys for listening. If you're viewing this on YouTube, make sure you like and subscribe. And if you're viewing this on the podcast streaming service, make sure you follow or subscribe, however it's set up. This has been another episode of the TMossBoss Show. Appreciate all you guys. Thank you for watching and or listening, and peace.